Greetings, intrepid truth seekers, and welcome to a mind-bending episode of Conspiracy Junkie. Today we're delving into a perplexing nexus of power, secrets, and intrigue. The connection between the Freemasons and the Mafia. Are these two enigmatic organizations intertwined in ways we've never imagined? Prepare to uncover the hidden threads that might link these seemingly disparate worlds. Freemasons and the Mafia. The Freemasons, or simply Masons, are a fraternal organization that traces its origins back to medieval stonemason guilds. Over time, the organization evolved into a social and fraternal group, with members joining for various reasons, including networking, camaraderie, and shared values. Freemasonry is often associated with symbolism, rituals, and secret practices, which have contributed to the speculation around its activities. The Mafia, also known as Cosa Nostra, is a network of organized crime groups that originated in Italy and later spread to various parts of the world, including the United States. The Mafia is known for engaging in illegal activities such as extortion, racketeering, smuggling, and organized violence. The organization gains significant attention during the Prohibition era in the United States and has been the subject of numerous movies, books, and other media. Unveiling Secrets. Few organizations have captured public imagination and suspicion over the years quite like the Freemasons. With their secrecy, obscure membership criteria, and long history of suspected corruption, they're a group, it's safe to say, that have attracted their fair share of mistrust. Globally, it's estimated there are around 6 million Freemasons, with a particularly strong presence in the UK, US, and Italy. Though things aren't quite as mysterious as they once were about the group's inner workings, it's still an organization with significant secrets. We have to keep in mind that the Freemasonry and the Mafia have many things in common about the organization. For example, shared values of humility. They share the respect for rules, the respect for the hierarchy. In the world of secret societies and organized crime, two names emerge: the enigmatic Freemasons and the notorious Mafia. The Freemasons have a long history that dates back to the medieval stonemasons guilds, where they were involved in the construction of cathedrals and other structures. Over time, Freemasonry transformed into a fraternity focused on moral and philosophical teachings. It gained popularity in the 18th and 19th centuries as a social and philanthropic organization. The Mafia, on the other hand, is a criminal organization that originated in Italy. It emerged as a response to social and economic challenges in certain regions of Italy, and eventually made its way to the United States, where it became associated with various criminal activities. Some conspiracy theories suggest that the Freemasons and the Mafia share similar symbols and rituals, implying a connection between the two. The symbols used by Freemasons are related to their teachings and traditions, while the Mafia's symbols often represent loyalty and criminal identity. Origins and purposes. It primarily engaged in illegal activities such as extortion, smuggling, racketeering, and rules of behavior rooted in secrecy. In Italy, the bond between Freemasonry and Mafia groups in the South has a long, complicated history. There are superficially shared values. Both were heavily repressed between the 1920s until the end of World War II as potential threats to the power of Mussolini's fascist state. And both have a long, contentious relationship with the pillars of Italian political and commercial society, one where rumors of collusion and corruption are never too far from the surface. The fact that the 'Ndrangheta is well connected and deeply rooted in the society, with connections to politicians, businessmen, police officers, magistrates, judges, and that's the strength of the Mafia. In a wiretapped conversation in 2013, one 'Ndrangheta boss, Pantaleon Mancuso, summed up the relationship. "The 'Ndrangheta is no longer," he said. "The Freemasons remain." In 2017, a series of police raids discovered 193 high-ranking members of the Sicilian Mafia and the Calabrian 'Ndrangheta to be members of lodges across the South. According to the work of dogged prosecutors and the testimony of mob turncoats, the secrecy of Masonic lodges provided the perfect place to conduct shady deals with figures from the business and political elite. Later, a series of local lodges in Calabria were dissolved after the discovery of mobsters on their books. One case which has become infamous is that of Giovanni Zambo. A well-respected Calabria accountant, he had made a name for himself managing properties seized from organized crime on behalf of the courts. But Zumbo was later convicted of mafia crimes after law enforcement discovered that he had been tipping off one notorious local boss about a looming arrest. We have this guy, an accountant, that goes to Pell, one of the biggest godfathers of Ndrangheta, while he was on the run. Claims of individuals belonging to both the Freemasons and the Mafia lack substantial evidence. While it's possible that isolated cases of overlap might exist, they do not suggest a widespread connection between the two organizations. The Freemasons and the Mafia have vastly different goals and purposes. Freemasonry centers around moral development, personal growth, and community service, while the Mafia is rooted in criminal activities and the accumulation of power and wealth. Historical records and documented interactions between the Freemasons and the Mafia are notably absent. Scholars and researchers have not been able to establish credible links between the two organizations through reliable primary sources: money and power. This trial gives the opportunity to explain how the Ndrangheta has established relations with parts of institutions, with parts of the ruling elites. Freemasonry may help the Ndrangheta to succeed, and sometime they invented a deviated lodge or some connection, or they are involved with members associated to some lodges. But that doesn't mean that the whole lodges are corrupted or infiltrated by the Ndrangheta or a mafia-like organization. It's just around the money and power. So it's something, because the people think, why we never defeat mafia? We will never defeat because it's really good and evil, the eternal fight. Either way, potential significance of Masonic iconography on intercepted drug shipments maybe shouldn't be overstated. After all, branding is important, even to sinister transnational criminal organizations like the Ndrangheta. Symbols come and go, whatever the depth of the links between the organizations. The eye encompassed might not be an unsubtle clue, but simply a way to make the shipment stand out, a piece of self-aware marketing. Things aren't always a code to be cracked, however tempting it may be to think so. But if nothing else, there is one link between Masons and Mafia. Money and power is a phrase that reflects the strong correlation between wealth and influence in various aspects of society. It signifies the idea that individuals or entities with significant financial resources often have the ability to wield power and shape events in their favor. This concept has been observed throughout history and is a common theme in politics, business, and social dynamics. Here's a closer look at the relationship between money and power. Money plays a significant role in politics. Political campaigns require funding for advertising, travel, and outreach. Wealthy donors can influence political candidates and parties through financial contributions. Lobbying involves using financial resources to influence government decisions. Organizations and individuals with money can hire lobbyists to advocate for their interests. Freemasonry true. Freemasonry is a fraternal organization that has existed for centuries. It originated from medieval stonemasons' guilds and evolved into a modern organization with a focus on moral and philosophical teachings, personal development, and community service. Freemasonry is a fraternal organization that has existed for centuries. It originated from medieval stonemasons' guilds and evolved into a modern organization with a focus on moral and philosophical teachings, personal development, and community service. Here are some key aspects of Freemasonry that are generally accepted as true. The historical roots of Freemasonry can be traced back to the guilds of stonemasons and cathedral builders during the Middle Ages. These guilds had rituals, symbols, and ceremonies that were passed down through generations. Freemasonry places emphasis on moral and ethical values, personal growth, and self-improvement. The organization promotes virtues such as charity, kindness, and mutual support among its members. Freemasonry uses symbolism and rituals as a way to convey its teachings and principles. These rituals often involve allegorical stories and ceremonies that impart moral lessons. Freemasonry operates in lodges, which are local chapters or groups where members meet regularly. Each lodge has its own leadership structure and may have specific rituals and traditions. Freemasonry is organized into a system of degrees, each of which represents a stage of personal and moral development. The three foundational degrees are Entered Apprentice, Fellow Craft, and Master Mason. These degrees involve rituals, symbolism, and teachings that emphasize different aspects of self-improvement and virtue. And there you have it, a tantalizing exploration into the possible connection between the Freemasons and the Mafia. The layers of secrecy and influence run deep, but we've dared to peel them back. If you found this episode as captivating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Conspiracy Junkie and tap the notification bell for more revelations that challenge the conventional narrative. Until next time, further seekers, keep questioning, keep investigating, and keep feeding your inner conspiracy junkie appetite.